You had a dream about me?
She was in the dream too.
Oh, great.
You were...
Gritty Grattle. I don't know. You got it marked next to Cuties, so it's kind of like...
Well, that's because I was in the bathroom, and it was
That's-
during that time,
okay.
and I'm like, oh, I got to tell about that dream, and I completely forgot. We were at some place, and you were there. Your wife was there. I think the girls and Trent might have been there. It was some big place, but there's a lot of people there, and I was coming to see you.
Yeah.
Like, I was coming to hang out with you.
Oh.
And you were being a jerk and did not want to speak to me at all. Like, the entire dream, I had more details when it was like the last episode.
Yeah.
But the whole dream, you just like, and then you would take off running and you wouldn't talk to me.
Huh.
I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? And I was talking to your wife and I said, what in the world is wrong? She was like, I don't know. Today's just being a jerk. And that was like a small part of the dream, but
Sounds like something she'd say.
But you were just like running off every time, and I could not talk to you to like hash it out.
Yeah.
And it was, I woke up frustrated. It was like you with the Snickers. And I was like, why is he mad at me?
Why is he being like this?
Yeah.
Why is he being like this in my dream? Great.
So he got in trouble at school. He got ISS'd actually today.
ISIS.
Yeah. They have it at Bullard.
Dang. Well,
He said
they're everywhere.
there were some boys that were saying, he wouldn't give me names, but he said that
Claude.
they were saying things very inappropriate, and Tristan said something about either
So
he said something like
confront him.
no Tristan, to be cool, jumped in
Oh.
and said what'd he say, want to have sex or something like that.
Trying to fit in.
And then the girls that told on him said that he said something about rape and everything else. And I said, Tristan, what is that? I don't know. I said, did you say that? I didn't say that. And I said, well, who was saying it then? He didn't, like, we had a whole car ride to a job, and he did not want to tell me. He didn't rat his friends out. But I told him, I said, listen,
ain't a snitch.
if your friends are talking like that, they don't need to be your friends.
Yep.
It reminded me of Trent and what's that other dude's name? Rodney.
Yeah.
When we were in 7th or 8th grade, they came up and said something. They said the word sex. I don't remember what it was, but they started laughing and running off. And I had no clue what they were talking about. And he's so innocent. I said, do you even understand what you said? He admitted to saying something about you want to have sex. And then I think one of the girls said something about, he said something about putting a baby in him or something like that.
Yeah.
I said, do you even understand what you're saying? No. He's being innocent, but I said, you don't repeat stuff you don't understand. Yeah. That will get you in serious trouble.
Or just look like a fool.
I still haven't talked to Mama J about it. So I don't know what's going to happen.
She's going to backhand him.
I understand
She's going to put a ring on.
saying something to be cool or to fit in when all the boys are laughing and stuff, but if you don't understand it, don't say it.
Yeah.
But that's how innocent he is. He doesn't even understand what he's saying, but he's just repeating other people.
Yeah. I know.
Like,
I did that too when I was
stupid
young.
white kids.
For real. Get a clue, Whitey. When we were in it was either the 3rd or 4th grade. Yeah, it was 3rd or 4th grade. But there was this girl, Jenny, in our class. It was stupid kids not knowing what in the heck we're talking about. Idiots. But it was, looking back, it's funny. But we were making fun of her for being a virgin. We're like, Jenny's a virgin. She was like, no, I'm not. And we were like, no one here.
By that grade, no one is anymore. If you are, you're an outcast.
Yeah. What are you, a 3rd grade virgin? What a weirdo. Shoot. Be getting it all the time. Shoot.
Yeah.
I ain't no 3rd grade virgin.
What's it? I don't know. Me neither.
But I know
But
I
I'm
ain't
getting it all the time.
I know I get it.
I ain't gay.
Stupid kids. I just remember her being just mad because she was like, they're saying I'm a virgin, but I'm not. And I was like, yes, you are. We all are. You know, we're idiots. We don't know what the heck we're talking about.
Teacher, are we all virgins?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ask your parents.
That's one of those ask your parents questions.
Yeah. Also remember, like in 7th grade, before I didn't know anything about like masturbation or any of that, and there was a group of guys and they were joking around, and I just remember like laughing like yeah, but I was like, I don't know what the heck they're talking about.
I'm not really that good. I'm a subpar patient.
Yeah, I'm not a master by any means.
I'm still learning my body.
Yeah. Who am I?
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Bearded Cactus. I'm Steven.
And I'm Julian. And we got mugs! Woo!
Yeah.
Check out these fine beauties right here.
You can get these at thebeardedcactus.com/merch.
Get your slurp on. Tasty bearded cactus juice.
Tasted even better out of there.
What do we think success is? What is our version of success? How has our idea of success changed throughout our lifetime so far?
And a lot of the things that we're saying is probably going to overlap from the dream episode.
For sure, yeah.
But for some reason on our Facebook, by the way, check us out on Facebook at the Bearded Cactus. Some people on the post from that episode, 4 or 5 of them laughed, like the laughed little thing, and I don't know why.
I don't know.
And these were people who didn't even like the page, so I invited them. Like,
come on.
If you think it's funny, come on.
Oh, another thing on my dream, I always wanted to be a comedian too. Like if I was like, if I know I wanted to be a comedian, I would still like to. That would still be awesome. I just don't have the time to put into that kind of dedication to that art.
And you have to take a big risk too.
Yeah.
Because you don't. It's not a steady paycheck like
a
regular job.
And I mean, to cut your teeth, you gotta travel around a lot,
and have places to go where you
to
can
be able
do
to do
that.
it. Yeah. I mean, the people that live in big cities, say whether Dallas or Austin or even, LA, all those places, like there's a steady comedy club that they could go to, week after week, night after night to, get better at their stuff and hone in their jokes and mold them and make them to actually make it funny, because they're just basically practicing, that's essentially what it is. And I don't have a place around me or the time to be able to do that.
You got all those woods around your house.
I could.
The woods is your audience.
I feel a breeze. Yeah, nature liked that joke. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's right.
On, nature.
High five, nature.
Okay.
I got a lot of likes from people that I sent that out to. And
when I checked last week, we had 120 views, I think.
Okay,
and that was like a day or two after we posted it.
Yeah. Nice.
And also,
nice.
I posted it on mine.
Yeah.
And then sent them to the Bearded Cactus website or the Bearded Cactus stuff.
Yeah.
That way, if they're like, "Oh, this is funny," I'm like, "Hey, check out the best podcast ever." And then I put our YouTube link in there, trying to get more traffic. I only got like 20 watches on mine. Whatever. Make somebody go and click on it. Who cares?
Yeah, for sure. I think they only have to watch like 30 seconds of it anyways, and that counts as a view. I think in the YouTube.
But also,
depending on the length of the video, if it's like a minute long or something like that, then they have to watch the full minute in order for it to be considered a view.
Yeah, when you have if you ever try to monetize, you have to have 1,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah,
and 40,000 hours of watch time to be able to get paid from ads on YouTube.
Yeesh, 40,000 hours.
That's crazy.
That's like
I just passed.
That's like 3 days worth of watching.
I got like 1,200 subscribers now. In the last 2 months, I've gained like over 700 subscribers.
Oh wow! For your
video
my vlog
photography,
and all that. Oh, that's cool.
Photography tutorials and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to make money off of YouTube is incredibly hard.
Yeah,
you have to have a mass
40,000 hours worth of watching.
That means some guy I saw did the math. And this kind of wraps into success a little bit, but like the people who have like 1.5 or over 1 million followers and stuff, people watch their stuff all the way through. They already have that dedicated following and stuff.
Yeah, they got.
But a smaller channel like ours on the Bearded Cactus with like 23 subscribers.
Yeah.
But every video we put out is like an hour long.
Yeah.
Besides the couple that I've kind of chopped up a little bit.
Right.
But YouTube is not a place for success.
Not long term.
It really should be
I mean, I guess it could be, but you have to think of like what YouTube is too. Like people, YouTube is like how-to videos. I mean, I know for me, it's like mostly like how-to videos, restoration videos, comedy, and it's not even me, I'm like, I don't know if I want to subscribe because I've only got so much time and I don't want to sit here. If I'm subscribed to 800 people, then it's going to be like, okay, that's going to be like every single day of my life. I got to watch your channel, make sure so, I mean, I get it.
Well, actually the algorithm for YouTube, the majority of the content you watch, like what it is, who it is, and all that stuff, that's what they put in front of you. It's not like a feed like Facebook,
right? Yeah,
which is kind of creepy if they can monitor me like that.
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
well, I mean, there's always weird stuff in my recommended list, anyways. Like, watch this girl play a cello with like she's only got like one hand and an elbow, and it's like. Okay.
That's why weird stuff stays in here. It's like suggested.
It's only 30 seconds. Like, I can commit 30 seconds, I guess. All right. So success, I think that changes over time, definitely. I think.
So what used to be older, your success, like definition?
My definition of success used to be just like lots of money.
Yeah.
Just have money, have things, And I guess it kind of still is, but it doesn't consume me. Right. I'm not oh, I've got to have all of this money. I think I'm in the normal range of people to where it's like I'm realistic to where I'm like, I can't not have money. I've got to have money to live.
Right.
I've got to pay bills. I've got to do this stuff. But now my mindset, and it's not so much to like obtain things like, oh, let me get all of this stuff that I'm never going to use. I always end up going through like stuff in my life, whether it be like my closet, like clothes that I got, or okay, I've got this guitar, but I haven't played it in like 2 years, So do I really need 5 guitars? It's cool to have, but
especially if they're hanging on your wall.
Yeah, and I just don't have anywhere to hang them. So I've got guitars in cases, and I've got them in the closets, and I never even touch them. I've got like 2 main guitars that I actually even play, but it's like, oh, I've always wanted that specific guitar, and I finally got it, but it stays in a case like underneath my bed. Because it's too much of a hassle to have to pull it out and then set up all my equipment to be able to play like I really want to, because I don't have a room dedicated to it. So I've definitely had to downsize a whole lot of my stuff, and I've done that throughout the years anyways. I'll make money to get something that I want, and then okay, it's old, and then I move on to the next thing, and I just get rid of that. But yeah, it's not so much having things and having money now. It's more just like, okay, I just want to be happy now. It's just kind of like I just want to be able to enjoy life and be able to put some money back to be able to do something fun and create like memories for myself and my family and with my friends and everything. It's not so much just I want to go and just do all of this stuff just because. It's like what's the purpose of me being able to go on vacation? Is it just to relax? It's like that's part of it, but at the same time, I want to have fun and enjoy myself and be able to look back and be like, that was a good week or however long. So,
like I think, like we talked about with dreams, I think that success is also it becomes a different viewpoint when we mature. Right. Like when I was younger, money, women. Yep. Anything, right. Big house. And I think still my mind still goes there now.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we're about to move to Longview. We don't know exactly when. We got to do some repairs on the house. It's older. We're not sure if we're going to try to rent it out or if we need to sell this one to make for a down payment for the next one.
Right.
Not really sure. So it's all these things. And then I'm looking at these houses online. I'm like, ooh, I like that. Because then I start comparing it to this. I'm like, well, I don't want to go backwards.
Right.
I want to go, better, a step up.
We always want to,
But sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
To get to where you're really trying to go.
Right.
And I think sometimes we can hold on to that old definition of success, and it will keep us back from true success because we're holding on to what we thought it once was instead of what it could be.
Right.
And what it looks like now. Because a big recommendation, if you are wherever you are, in your job, your family, whatever, you're leading somewhere. There's something, you make a decision somewhere, or even in your personal life. The Craig Rochelle leadership podcast. He's got tons of stuff of
Is
like
it Craig or Greg?
Craig.
Craig.
It's Craig and then Groeschel.
Gross.
Not Greg Crochelle.
That's
But
Groeschel.
Craig Groeschel.
Craig.
And it took me like 40 episodes to listen how he pronounced his own name.
Groeschel.
But so I just put like grow and shell together,
Yeah.
and that's how he pronounces it.
Groeschel.
It's not how it's spelled, but that's how it's
Yeah.
spelled. But he has a lot of good, solid, and he'll even give, their church gives you notes for free.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like go download that episode's notes and questions and all this stuff.
Right.
And he's talked about success and what is success and how to measure your success, that if you have a business or you're at a job, that if you're a leader somewhere, leadership does not control the situation. They produce leaders, and they give
Right.
room for other people to make those decisions, which is a kind of an opposite, because you're like, well, I'm the boss. I say this, and you just do it.
Yeah.
When really, when you empower someone else to do something,
Yeah.
it makes everybody successful.
Right.
And everybody, like, what is it? What did he say? Something about people will kill themselves to do a job, but they'll lay down their lives to fulfill the vision. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow. Ooh, that's pretty intense.
Kill yourself to do a job. Lay down your life to fulfill the vision.
So success for me has been, well, like my dream definition, it's been maturing, which
Yeah.
I feel, every day should be a maturing experience in some way. If not, we end up being complacent and fine where we are, and we end up going backwards, or wanting things to stay exactly where they are.
Yeah.
And we stun our own growth by never
Yeah.
wanting to move forward or grow in any area.
Getting comfortable.
And
Getting
so
comfortable where you're at.
Being very self-aware and examining myself is a way that I every day can make sure that I am being successful in some area, because even small steps is a step in the direction to go somewhere. So even if I don't feel like we talked about, I think it was in dreams, even your 5s, your 6s, your 7s,
Yeah.
from a scale of 1 to 10, go with those.
Yeah.
I mean, no success was achieved without any kind of risk at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is the same with dreams. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to risk something. I mean, we took risk to get married,
Yeah.
to admit that we liked them,
Yeah.
and you had to like drill it into her head that you liked her.
Listen, kind of like ya. Kind of like ya.
But
More than a friend.
I had to, and I'm still trying to, I try to redefine all the things in my life on a constant basis, because life is always changing. Mm-hmm. And so if I always try to stay with, it has to stay like this. I'm putting the, square block in the round hole, and it's not fitting, and I'm getting angry.
You shave those sides down. That's what you do.
Well, that's what we try to
turn
do.
that square peg into a round one, and then you...
Because we look on Instagram,
made
we
it
look on
work.
Facebook, everybody
Yeah.
else's success stories and their highlight reels and all this other crap.
Right.
That's just highlight reels.
Yeah.
It's not real life.
Right.
We're not seeing them crying in the shower
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they had a fight with their spouse again and they don't feel like they belong.
Yeah.
And
well, just because somebody has a successful business, social media is, I think it's retarded most of the time anyways.
that's why you just got on.
Yeah.
in the past few months.
Well, I mean, it's still like annoying, because here's the thing. Like, even if I put something on there or I post anything, that's the good part of my life that's happening.
Yeah.
Or that's a piece of, good part of my life that's happening. But that's not my life. My life isn't constant joy. My life isn't constant happiness. I may be happy in that second or whatever if I put a picture up or a video up or something, that's something that just made me happy, like right then and there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that day I didn't just have it out with my wife, and then she's threatening to leave me or whatever, or I lost my temper.
she's finally leaving.
Yeah, here we go. Which I'm sure that there's some of that for sure. Some of it's just like, how can I screw this up so bad that she's the one that leaves?
Yeah.
People think like that. I've thought like that. Like, yeah, I ain't leaving, but I ain't going to make it pleasant for her to stay. Heck no,
I will win this one way or the other.
I'm crazy like that. No, I ain't going to be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy to get her to be the bad guy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, as far as like social media and just people sharing like their their successes that they have. And even like on YouTube, you know, some people are a little bit more transparent about what's going on in their life as far as like them, you know, struggling with either maybe dependency or anything like that they're dealing with, depression or just something, you know, whatever it is. Some people are more transparent like that, and that's good. I think that's good when people are just, you know, like, yeah, I make funny videos and all of that. Yeah, that's cool and all, but I am human and I have emotions, and sometimes I need a break from everything because sometimes life is overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know? So when you see people on Instagram or Facebook is like, as far as like their business is doing great and I made this much money doing, you know, FBA or all of this, you know, and this is my success story. That's your success story with your business. So,
and we're not seeing what it took for them to get there, what they had to sacrifice.
There had, I mean, obviously, if you want to be successful, easy for me to say, then you're gonna have, something's got to give. Yeah. You're gonna have to give something up in order to get that, you know, to get what you want or to get where you want to be. You have to give something up to give there, whether that be, you know, time, whether that be certain relationships. You know, you're going to either have to cut people out of your life that are holding you back.
I think those are the top three: time, money, and relationships.
Yeah.
That's what will hold you back or push you forward.
Right. So, I mean, if you're constantly hanging out with junkies, you're probably not going to be too successful because, I mean, that's the people that you're surrounding yourself with, you know? So, I mean,
you never want to be the smartest guy in the room. Then you have nobody to challenge you.
That's true.
Which is hard for me to do, but you know.
Yo, if you feel me, you feel me. You see so many people that, and there's, you know, you Google it. There's 100 million different stories out there.
Google it.
There's endless amount of stories of people's, you know, their success story or their idea of success. And I worked so hard to get this and get that. And then once I got it, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
There was nothing there. I worked my whole life to own this Ferrari, to get that Ferrari in my hands because I love cars and I wanted that car so bad. But then I finally got to a spot in my life where I was financially able to go out and get that. And I went and got it, and I sat in it, and nothing. It didn't change my life at all. There was just nothing there.
Yeah.
So,
an empty goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's you know, all kinds of stuff like that, you know, and on a smaller scale, not a Ferrari, but I've definitely done that. Like, oh yeah, If I get this guitar, if I get this piece of equipment or whatever, if I get this, you know, this certain car, if I buy these certain clothes, you know, I'm going to feel good about myself. I'm going to feel better. Yeah. But then it's like, oh, well, I'm tugging at my shirt now because I gained a little weight. So I look good on the outside, but on the inside, I'm all flabby and pudgy. Or they're like, oh, yeah, I bought that guitar because I've wanted it forever, but I've only spent, you know, a total of 20 minutes actually playing it in the past 5 years. So what was the purpose of all of that? You know, why did I need something so bad just to tuck it away and never use it?
Well, if we don't have the proper or understand what true success is, I feel like we never stop chasing, like you said, the Ferrari. Then you sit in it and you're like, well, this doesn't have a whole lot of room.
Where am I going to put my groceries?
I guess I can't put my kids in here.
Oh, yeah, I got kids.
Oh, wait, I can't put my kids in here.
Never mind, it's back. I know why I got this.
All the time.
I know why I got this.
Success.
Sorry, no room, guys. It's a one-seater.
But things like that it's like that shiny scent. You're chasing after something that's, you know, always out of reach. Yeah. Which you may obtain things along the way, but that feeling is always out of reach. It's like a drug.
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be, the way society is, there's always something new coming out. There's always something better. You know, you can I guess, equate it to like a phone or a computer, you know.
By the time I can afford one, the next one's out.
Yeah, like, ooh, iPhone 11, that's cool. Have you heard about the iPhone 20s X Plus Mega Ultra Pixel?
But I just paid $1,000 for this one.
Yeah, this one's $2,000. Okay, I can start saving now, and then next year when the iPhone 30
it's
comes
so
out,
much faster
I
you
can
can't even tell.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the processing power.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a cell phone.
This one's got 3 cameras.
As long as I have Wi-Fi, I don't need anything else.
Yeah, and then that's what I was telling Kelly that the other day. I was like, okay, yeah, phones get better, but you know, and they take better pictures, but it's still not a camera.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they make cameras. They
Yeah.
make cameras because cameras are designed to take pictures. Phones are phones, and it's still like this big. It may take decent camera or photos for a camera phone, but it's not a camera.
I've had people ask me, are you worried do you get out of a lot of jobs because of the camera phones? No.
No.
I have an actual like professional grade camera. No, I don't worry about that at all.
I would be, if someone showed up to a photo shoot with their camera, I'd be like, "What are you doing, man?" Like, no.
Yeah. No
Never
one
mind.
wants a cell phone to come and take their wedding photos.
Yeah, it's like, no, thank you.
Nice try, bro.
I'll find someone else. I'll find a cameraman.
You want $1,000 for this? It's to pay for your phone, isn't it?
But it's the iPhone. It's the iPhone 11
Pro.
Look how many
11
cameras
Pro.
I got. Look how many cameras I got.
I
on
can
here.
switch and do the wide angle
Yeah.
with no problem.
Ooh, this is cinema view. Wow.
Interchangeable lenses you can clip.
Yeah, you
clip to
can
the
click
thing
them
now.
on there. It's like, just buy a camera. Just buy a camera.
$500
But-
more, you can get a decent one.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that one was $1,700,
Yeah, there you go.
and it came with the lens.
Yeah, you get a phone for $1,000. Just save up a little bit more and get yourself an awesome camera, a decent camera.
But they rope
anyways.
you in for the payment plan, like the Verizon Edge or whatever it is.
Well, it's
I can
really
make
only
payment.
$37.99 a month.
Oh, that's cheaper than $1,000.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a fact.
And you get 5 lines, and 5 gigs of data.
Yay!
Yay! I don't know how much that is. How much do I use?
No
I
one
don't know.
knows.
I don't know.
They just measure
I'm
it.
always on Wi-Fi.
It's always variables. No one even really knows what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you have 50 megs of internet Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
I don't know. Now they're advertising it's 100
That's
whatever
cool.
gigs, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's half of what we pay for double what we get.
Yeah.
I told my wife, I said, why don't we just cancel and then get them back? And they don't have an annual contract.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't think we can do that. I did it with my Adobe stuff. I have
Yeah.
the CC where I have all the apps they have.
Yeah.
Everything is free for like $30 a month.
Nice.
Like video editing, all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
photography stuff. And I canceled it and then got it back because they went up to $60 and I didn't know it.
Yeah.
And so I canceled it, started over again. So for the next year, I have it $30 a month again.
Hey.
I'll play the game.
Yeah. There's if they got a loophole, that's their fault. That's
Yeah.
it's not your fault for figuring it out. That's theirs. They shouldn't have made it that way.
They probably did that for the dumb photographers.
Success. That's what it is. Success.
Take that.
Life hacks.
Photoshop.
That makes me feel successful.
Adobe.
Adobe.
Adobe. So what's a success story that you have had?
Ooh. Well, let's see.
Just a
Which
little hint. You
one?
probably should include your wife in whatever you say.
Right. Yeah.
just-
So I married her. Success.
Boom. Success.
Done. Success. Still married. Still successful.
on a t-shirt.
Still successful.
Guy knows what he's doing.
Let's see. Personal success story. I would say, I have like this huge thing, like this huge mountain that I've conquered. But it is a success to me to be able to, I guess, do away with my old life as far as it not having any hold on me, you know?
Yeah.
As far as me thinking man, that life was so much better. I want to go back to that life or continue to live that way, you know? Because it's creeped up a few times I mean, you did have fun doing all of this. This was fun. Wouldn't it be fun to be single? Single and mingle? But to be able to have a personal growth of success and be able to say, I'm mature enough to look back at that life and say that didn't bring me anything. it may have made me happy for a spell.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you really sit back and think about it, it left me empty. It left me always wanting more, always trying to do more, always. And I was basically just, spinning my tires in the mud and not going anywhere. You know, it was fun slinging mud everywhere and all that, but it didn't get me anywhere.
Is that what they're calling it now?
I guess so.
I'm slinging my mud everywhere.
I was slinging mud. I was slinging all that dirty mud.
I drive your truck. But see, that's part of the reason why I asked, because I feel that we belittle our small successes in our life because we're so used to seeing everyone else's huge mountaintop experiences when really the little successes in life are usually the more significant.
Right. That's true.
And
because those, I look at those small successes
substance.
they're more like steps, and you use those to build up to something, bigger. And then this big success that you attained, I'm getting away from the mic, big success that you attained wouldn't have been possible without all of these smaller ones that you had, because that's what got you there. Yeah. So
every pyramid starts with a wide base of a lot of little things. And then you get your other friends, and you get your other friends, and then you're on top.
Yeah. It's a pyramid scheme. Success is a pyramid scheme. Yes, that's what we need to do. I tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell two friends.
We're all together.
For 35 cents, the price of half a cup of coffee.
Not Starbucks coffee.
Dirt cheap cup of coffee.
Yeah. Homegrown. So I guess a small success that I feel like, and it wasn't really my doing, but I really feel like the life that I've built with my wife, and then having good enough conditions at my home that was the opposite of who I was, to where my son is here now full time. Like, that's huge to me.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely count that as huge.
Because, for one, women do not usually want to offer up the rights or the custodial parent right to the man. They want to hold on and get child support and all that stuff.
Yep. Speaking of all that, I'll get an attorney. If you understood that, you're better than me, because I didn't understand it.
But I feel that was a huge success because, I mean, beard hair. I can't take credit for everything that's in my life. God has done it.
Well, definitely.
But
100.
He's doing it through me. Yeah. And I'm glad to be along for the ride. You know what I mean?
Thanks for using me as that. Which I'll get on that in a second. So continue.
Oh, that's kind of it. I'm glad that I wasn't the father I should have been in his early years. Right. But I'm glad I'm getting to make up for it for the rest of his life. Yeah. Because, like you said, turning from the old ways, who we used to be and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I was so the opposite. I was lazy. When Chanel and I first got married, if there was a time, and I don't know where this came from, but if there was a time to where I worked at the Walmart warehouse, if they asked if anybody wanted off early because they were cutting some hours, part-time would be cut first and then us. Yeah. I would always be willing to, willing to take off first. Yeah. And now I'm the opposite. Like when I worked at the shop as a machinist married to Jessie, which is a woman, by the way, in case you get confused with the name. Jessie. She's like, I have a man's name, and her middle name's Lee, too. And every time they would ask if anybody wanted to stay, I was the first one in line to want to stay. Yeah. And I would work 50, 60 hours sometimes in the week and be killing myself. Right. But I made up my mind when I decided to leave the old me behind that I was going to leave all of the old me behind, and he was not going to have a presence in my new life. Right. And so being able to be a provider, even though for a while when I stopped being the machinist and went to the full-time youth pastor, it got cut in half. Right. Still got provided. Yeah. And even though there was seemingly the opposite of success in our lives at that time, I could still sometimes you can be in the middle of like a valley or what. The reason it's fresh in my mind is because I just preached this last night. Talking about dark valleys and flourishing in the shadows. Yeah. But I feel that like Batman. The past successes, the significant successes in our lives can fuel us to make it through the small ones now, and then move on to bigger things. Yeah. Because at that time when I didn't feel like a man, I I didn't tell my wife this, but I really felt like I was letting the family down because I wasn't the breadwinner anymore.
Right.
Which is not true. That's not really what success is all about. But in a way, it kind of it was to me.
I think we feel like that. I know I definitely feel like that just because I am the sole provider, as far as financially for my household. So, when I see bills or something and stuff starts getting like a little bit behind, or like, we have to push this forward or that, a little bit back, just to move stuff around to be able to pay it. And, and it's not like we're ever like, oh, I don't pay any of my bills or anything. But, sometimes it's like, well, I'm not going to have it this week. I'm going to have it next week. So, but it's due this week, but it'll be fine. I just got to pay it next week. We have stuff like that. Then I'm like, oh man, I don't want to have to work all that extra overtime, but I know that we need it. Yeah. We need that extra money just to keep her from having to stress and worry about the bills. Then it's just like, okay, well, what's 4 extra hours today, and then what's 4 extra hours tomorrow? Yeah. What does it really matter at the end of the day? I'm getting paid for it. I'm getting money to be there. My time is worth something. It's not like I'm just working just for the sake of working. Yeah. And
you just love it so much.
Yeah. And I think now as far as like me going for different positions at work and applying for those spots and not getting them, it's kind of made me be like, okay, well, how can I be successful in this company and not necessarily have to worry about having like a leadership role, or a supervisor position or any of that? How can I still be a good example and still be a good worker and still find some sort of joy in my job, even though it's not like my dream job or whatever. Yeah. So now I'm more focused on my reputation as far as like the job I do, how well I do it, and if I'm reliable and if I can be dependable and all of that. So now I'm starting to see more of that, the fruits of that, me focusing more on that. And it's kind of like, okay, people notice that I do a good job. People pay attention that they can count on me. So when something needs to be done, I'm one of the first people that they come to because they know the quality of work that I'm going to produce, and they know that I care about that. And so I've experienced success in that way, to where it's like, all right, okay, I can see, it's definitely a good confidence builder when people are like, thank you, or like, man, you do good work, or and all of that. So although it's not like they're handing me like $200 saying, oh, thank you for your work, here's your stuff. I mean, I guess they do when I'm working overtime, kind of have to legally, but the fact that it's kind of like, hey, thanks for doing that. I appreciate it, man. You do great work. I'm glad I can count on you. I'm glad I got somebody on this line that I can depend on. And if I know that something needs to be done, I know I can come to you and you're going to get it done. You're going to get it done right, and you're going to be safe. You're not going to just take shortcuts to just try and get it done fast. So that's some, like, I guess, recent success that I've experienced. But
and I think as far as like success goes, for one, it's not always monetary. I feel like sometimes it's more of a mindset.
Yeah.
Like recognizing the small things that are happening in your life, because it's very easy to compare. Comparison will kill success. Like if you look at everybody else and say, oh, well, they can buy this, or oh, they have this vehicle, or oh, they have this house, or oh, look at their clothes. I know how much those shoes cost. Or look at their handbag, girl. That's crazy. That's Coach.
I wish I had a good handbag.
All that stuff right there is just, it's a success killer.
Right.
Because it will get you in a negative mindset.
Yeah.
And you can't be in that mindset and be successful in everything that you do.
And that's the thing. If we look at monetary things as successful, it's like, yeah, I guess that's some sort of financial success in a way, but I mean, other than that, you look at cars, you look at houses and all of that. That takes money to purchase those things. But at the end of the day, like I heard, I don't know where I heard this, but I heard it said, like, yeah, the grass is always greener on the other side, but it's still just grass.
Yeah.
So
Still got to mow it.
yeah, it's still just grass.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you're like, oh, I hope I get that promotion. That'll be $40,000 extra that I get to do something with. And then, yeah, but then you're gonna find somewhere for that money to go.
Yeah.
Whether it be like, oh, a bigger house or a newer car or a better school for your kids or whatever. That money's gonna find somewhere to go because we always tend to like live, right up to the bar with what we're making. Never have we ever just been like, okay, I started out just making $30,000 a year, and then be like, how can I live on $30,000 a year for the next 20 years, even though I'm bringing in $160,000 a year? You're like, nope, I'm going to make my lifestyle fit what I'm making.
Expand, yeah.
And then so you're like, oh, I live paycheck to paycheck, man. It's like, yeah, but you make $200,000 a year. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck.
You spend all your money.
You choose to live paycheck to paycheck, because, oh, you got a boat, you got an RV,
Yeah.
you got a brand new house that you built.
All the important stuff.
You got to put your kids through college, idiots.
Dummy.
Buy the books online. They can teach themselves.
Yeah, we're doing it now to our kids in schools.
I mean, we always bump like right up against that line. Unless you're good with your money and you're smart with your money, then you're like.
And it's hard to be when the money's rolling in.
It is because you're like, oh yeah,
I can buy all the stuff I used to not be able to.
Yeah, and now I'm going to buy it all.
I'm successful.
And then now times are lean again, and you're like, I got all this stuff, but I would rather just have that cushion of cash.
I have all these bills that I start buying on credit.
Yeah. So it's like, so.
I'm guilty of that with like,
oh, yeah.
Like when we have more money, I'm like, oh, I could just put this on credit. We'll pay it off in a couple months.
Yep.
And then I wish every time that I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I did it with my camera equipment.
Yeah.
I was like, why drop
way.
why drop this money right now?
Yep.
I'll just use their credit card. It was like 0% interest for like 12 months or something.
Right.
And I'm just now paying it off. And that was only like last year, but still, it's like, man, I could have just saved up a little bit and not had this monthly bill.
Yep. I tend to look at it kind of like with
Joseph and the Giant.
Joseph and the Giant, how he threw the stone.
Yeah.
And
Jesus was born.
And then fell underneath a well.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, something close to that.
And then the coin was in the whale's mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jacob. I'm thinking of Jacob, I'm thinking of.
Jacob in the lion's den.
Yeah. They threw him in the river, and then he was baptized.
Yeah.
And then along came the angel with Mary and told him he's going to have a baby.
A child will be
the first baby in history.
Yeah. Success.
And he'll save the nations.
And everybody's going to walk across the water on dry land.
And that's basically the Bible in a nutshell, guys.
You're welcome.
If you've never read the Bible, just listen to the last 30 seconds
That's it.
and you've read the Bible.
This is going to be a clip on
Pretty
YouTube.
much. But so with Jacob and how he stored up, like, because he knew that there was famine and stuff that was going to happen. So I tend to think that we live kind of like his brothers and everything, where they're like, oh, dang it, maybe we should have stored some grain and everything for the dry times. That way we wouldn't be having to be like, oh, what are we going to do? We're going to have to go get help or something. I think we tend to live more like that, especially when we get extra cash, because I know I have.
Yeah.
Like, got this cash, that means I can get this, and I get that. And then boom.
Thanks, Amazon. You're the reason I stay broke.
Jeff Bezos.
Well, like at someone's deathbed, and this is just kind of wrap it up a little bit. The end of someone's life, they base their success when they're on their deathbed by the people that are surrounding them.
Yep.
And I think that's a very important aspect of looking at success. Love your family, enjoy your family, because you're not promised tomorrow. You don't know how long you have.
Right.
And they never say, man, I wish I would have just spent a little more money, or man, I wish I could have made some more money.
If I just would have bought that
family members,
79 Camaro.
Yeah, because you kids, I couldn't have got that Ferrari. But the family
get out of here.
Get out of here and bring me my Ferrari.
Bring me a Ferrari.
Hurry.
And then I'll put you in the wheel.
I want to die in it. But success is based on the relationships we build
Yeah.
with the people that we love.
Yeah,
In my
for
opinion,
sure.
like
No,
that.
I agree with you.
That should be the center of
Yeah.
our new definition of success,
Yeah.
which is hard when you have all these other people basing
Yeah.
their success on
Right.
material things.
Yeah, because I think when when you're growing up, when you're a kid, and then you see people that are older than you, and you're like, oh, I want to be like that, or I want to be able to get the things that they got, and then you're making out this career path, and then you're like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be able to get a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm going to live by myself. I'm going to have this. I'm going to be able to have this car, and I'm going to be able to paint my walls this color and all this. I'm going to get this degree, and then I'm going to have this job, and I'm going to be doing all of that. And then all of a sudden, life's like, no, I'm
No, you're
sorry.
not.
No, listen. You're not going to be doing any of that stuff because you didn't make enough money, and you're not going to be able to have that car because guess what? Someone ran into you and they drove off, so there was no insurance to cover all of that.
Yeah.
And that degree that you wanted, like there's a whole bunch of people that have that throwaway degree and they're not doing anything with it, or they either are, so the market's saturated with those people. So it's going to be really hard for you to get a job right now that pays what you want it to. So you're going to have to reevaluate the things that you want. And
You're gonna be the assistant manager at Mazio's
yeah, you're gonna be at Pizza Hut for a little while. But
delivering.
I definitely think I agree with you on that point. I think one of the most successful things in my life are just like my relationships and stuff. I love my family. I love being around my family, and I think the relationships that I've built over the past 10 years, I've seen it go up and down and everything, and I definitely see it at a point to where it's like, okay, the kids in my life, they're not biologically mine, but the relationships that I have with them, I think that's something crazy and great.
That's biological.
Yeah, that's biological. You can't adopt that. But I see my relationship with the girls, and it's like, wow, like we actually can have conversations. We can actually joke and everything, and it, be silly with each other, and we actually know stuff about each other.
Yeah. Success.
That
was a full
And
conversation.
So, and so I mean, it's pretty much. Sometimes it is. It's like, wow, okay, it's not an awkward car ride now. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. And then just to see, which this is a small success story, which I know it's like bad, but at the same time it's like good. Don't get me wrong. Like it's good to see that their dad was such a screw up that we finally got to a point to where we were able to, like, he signed over his rights.
Yeah.
So he has like no say so over them whatsoever anymore. Like, oh, you don't get them on the weekend. We don't want, I've never like wanted his child support money anyways, but now it's like, now you have no reason whatsoever to say, making me pay his child support. No, you chose not to pay, and you chose to just give them up. You chose to sign over your rights to them whatsoever. Yeah, everything. No one made you do that.
Yeah.
You chose to do that, We asked you if you wanted to. You said yes. So now you got no say-so in their life. Like, we're like free of you. Like, oh, you don't have to come around. I don't have to worry about scheduling my weekend around you or anything. The girls don't have to worry about being stressed over the environment that you put them in and constantly being drunk and or whatever. So that's a great success story. And an even better success story is he just got sentenced to 5 years in prison. So
Really?
Yeah, because he screwed up so much with so much stuff that it was kind of like, oh, okay. And and we've always like, oh, wouldn't it just be great if he just like went away and or anything. Don't want anything bad to happen. I don't want him to die. I don't want him to get shanked or nothing like that. What happens in showers happens in showers. I can't.
You might now.
I can't. I can't do anything about that.
That's not your story.
Yeah. Sometimes soap is slippery. Whatever.
That's right.
But they just got into a spot where his side of his family, the decent side for anyways, want, we've never wanted to put the girl how am I going to say it? We've never wanted to really have anything to do with him because there was always the possibility of him always like showing up or just being stupid or
that would be his family. I mean,
right.
Can't really make him leave his family's place.
Right. And, so, but now he's going to be gone
for at least 5 years.
For at least, and even if he serves like half of that, that's 2 years, 2.5 years that the girls can have a relationship with their grandparents, with their aunts and uncles, with their, their cousins and all of that, without the stress of him being there, without the stress of him just randomly showing up and being drunk or just acting stupid and just, showing what he really is.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a great success story, I'm not happy that he had to go down that road, but I am happy that he finally got the justice, that he deserved. I'm glad that justice finally happened and was taking place because he's gotten away with so much.
And that may be what it takes for him to start acting right.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
hope
it
so.
didn't probably affect you, maybe.
No.
At least
like
maybe
I said,
he won't show up.
It's not like I said, I don't want anything terrible to happen to him.
Not too terrible.
I didn't want him to go to prison, but I always said, it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up there the way that he's doing. Of course, that's just a logical outcome of the life that he was living.
It always catches up.
So it's kind of like, no, I'm not mad or sad that that's what happened to him, but I also didn't pray for it either. I wasn't like, oh God, just send him to prison. How about that? How about just the natural consequences of your actions catch up with you, and that's the way it works. How about that? That's my idea of success is like yours. It's kind of like I want my relationships to be stronger because, like you said, like when I'm hopefully, God willing, if I live to be an old man or live to be on a deathbed and say my final goodbyes and my life's just not, cut short, then I know I definitely would like to look back and be like, I'm glad at the sacrifices that I made to be able to have more time with my friends, with my family, not if I just would have worked 100 extra hours a week, I could have had that extra bedroom and made it into a music room. Yeah. I hate y'all.
Get out.
I'm going to die now.
Bring all my guitars in here.
Bring them. Tell my family I love them, maybe.
I get my own space.
Yeah. Jeez.
Turn it into the room you always wanted.
Even when I'm dying, I can't get rid of y'all.
You crowd my room. This is my studio now.
I just want to do one more podcast.
Stephen, come bring him up.
Stephen, please. I don't care if you're ate up with cancer. It's about me. I'm the one dying, not you.
We're gonna do a pop. We're gonna go YouTube live.
We're gonna die at the same time, Thelma and Louise style, like we always planned.
I'll be like, Joe Biden.
We've been talking about weird stuff. Do you remember the iPhone 13?
The first time I've ever pooped myself.
Wow.
It wasn't when I was old.
You remember when we went
24
to space again?
And our space cars?
Wow.
I got that 2-seater so my grandkids couldn't ride along and annoy me.
And I always put a bag of seed in the seat so no one can sit with me.
That's right.
But there's 2 seats, Grandpa. That's right. One's for me, one's for me.
It's not for you.
One's for my bag of seed.
Go give your mother trouble like she gave me. Success. Well, let us know what your success is. Small or great. Hashtag the bearded cactus.
What would you be willing to give up to make sure that you get that success?
What would you sacrifice? Live squirrels?
What would you,
your child?
What would you be willing to give up? Your squirrel children?
They're nutty.
And if you got squirrel children, you need to check yourself in
somewhere. How the heck are you listening to this podcast?
What the heck's wrong with you?
Check us out at thebeardedcactus.com.
Boom.
You can get every episode on there. Also, these mugs can be up to your mug as you drink.
One more time.
I guess I have a real one to do it.
Slurping noise.
Don't have anything left in here. It tastes so much better in this kind of mug.
The bearded cactus.
If it's yellow, let it mellow.
If it's brown, it's in town.
That's your Bible verse for you again.
The Solace.
That's Colossians chapter 15.
15, verse 17.
17.
15.
ABC.
Love you guys. Bye.
See you next time.